Alright, kind of a response video to Azranok on his regular Jimbo channel or whatever. Um, so anyway, on this whole subject of trolls and stuff, but it's more about communication. And yeah, I really didn't like his video. First, I don't think he gives. I mean, he defends speaking, but he doesn't defend it very well. I think this video thing has a lot of advantages over text. Even well-constructed text, even really precisely written text, because it has this, it's got the nuance thing, it's got the individual speaking it, it's got this real thinking, speaking thing, and there's real value in that, I think. Well, anyway, and then the beginning of his video, he's sort of defending the idea that, well, there's no such thing as a troll, really. It's just a label or whatever. And I think it can be narrowed down more than that. And I think it can be narrowed, it can be focused on how a person approaches argument and conflict and discussion, or however you want to describe it. I mean, some people don't like my style. Okay, it's too aggressive for them. I think it's fair, so obviously the style wouldn't be what it is if I didn't think it was fair. So I don't think I've committed any trespasses, but then there's people who call me a yob, like some kind of terrorist, because I do some kind of injustice to somebody or something, or some idea, or some argument. I think that's bullshit, and and I'll still make the argument that, yeah, I'll take on an argument. I mean, a video argument is what I'm looking for. If somebody wants to make a video arguing, great, arguing points. But if all they're going to do is make a video, as I get from these trolls, okay, that's just, attacks on me personally, well, what good is that? I mean, they can't, the subject is irrelevant to them. The subject is me, okay, and the extent of their video is to call me something, to throw out an accusation that I have to waste my time defending against. Even Citizen Worm, I mean, she throws out this accusation: 95% of your videos are straw man arguments. It's preposterous nonsense. I mean, just absolute nonsense. And she gets away with it. And that's what happens in the text, if you ask me. I mean, most of the text is just people taking cheap shots. It's just cheap rhetoric. I mean, it doesn't get to the substance of the argument or the discussion. And it's the same, in a way, I see it as so futile. I mean, I did a lot of text arguing over the last 15 years on the internet, and some of them are, legendary in terms of length. I mean, just, a novel worth of argument in text, and it just gets so damn circular. I mean, it always sort of frustrated me, because I almost wanted to come up with a message board format that prevented the circular thing, where arguments were almost deliberately labeled or placed in a hierarchy where you couldn't get back to the same crap again and go into the same cycles again. So it's like you couldn't repeat the same argument over again, just slightly rephrased. I can't say that can't happen in an argument in video, but it is really different, because it is much more of a conversation, and you can't interrupt, but you can refocus rather quickly. And it's just, to me, it's got so much more potential than text, and especially text in these little sound bites of text. So to me, there's a real value in this video thing. But I will argue, I guess I'll also, I'll sort of agree with you in one thing, that it's, not everybody can do it, though. Some people you can listen to for 17 minutes. Some people can get away with it, and some people can't. Being articulate in a spontaneous sense, in a think and speak sense, is I don't know, talent? No, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's an attribute that not everybody possesses. and some people are more articulate in text. And so anyway, I just didn't like your video. I mean, to me, it didn't deal with the real issue to me, which is the rhetoric itself. It's what people are doing with the text. I mean, most of the text comments on videos are useless. I mean, not that affirmations aren't, somebody's saying good video or something, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't even see anything wrong with somebody saying bad video. But when they say you're ugly, bad video, fuck that shit. And there's so much of that. I mean, so much of this fail or some other, cheap word, just a cheap 3 or 4 words that, in a way demands a response, but the response is always going to require more from the person responding than it took to tear it down. I mean, it's this whole tear it down argument. It's so much easier to tear something down than it is to actually build it. And that happens in argument, that happens in rhetoric. And to me, the trolls are the people who consistently do nothing but tear down. They don't have to build anything. They don't have to defend anything. They don't have to argue for something. All they do is march around doing the easy thing, which is just ripping somebody else's clothes. I mean, throwing mud. It's the bullshit arguments. And so that, to me, is the identifier of the troll. I mean, the troll is attacking people, persons. They're not attacking arguments or issues. They're not making arguments. They're just it's just coming down to slanders. That's all they're good for. And there's a lot of that shit going on. And there's a lot of just people just too damn lazy to make an argument. So they just try to pick at something. Just try to say something easy. I mean, it's almost that argument where you just laugh at something and you say, ha ha ha, cat. And there you've ridiculed the cat. You haven't made an argument against cats, but you somehow it works as a tool, as a little weapon of rhetoric. But it's bullshit. It's nothing. It's vacant. So I just there is distinctions to be made. I just don't think there's anything terribly unfair about classifying some people as having a little more integrity than others. And I think there are definitely people here on YouTube that deserve the label troll, or shithead, or motherfucker, or dumb, ignorant bastard, or useless prick, or skanky cunt. I mean, they deserve to be labeled, and I think they deserve for other people to recognize what they are, and to apply some sort of standard. At least oblige them on their message boards not to play that game. Not to, especially if you're talking about somebody else, for them to, find that an excuse to just throw in a pile of shit. Well, he is insane, or some other useless comment that does nothing. I mean, elevates no conversation. It's just a blight. It's just graffiti. There is such a thing. There is such a thing as comment graffiti. And I'm kind of pissed off that so many people just let that go on, because it does. I mean, there's no point. I don't read the comments on most videos, but there's no point. I mean, there's 1 in 10 of them might be worth reading, might. And even it is kind of frustrating. I mean, the only thing good about it is it does give you an indication of how close or far you are to getting your point across, because you can see how confused the comments are sometimes, how completely unrelated they are to the damn point you were making or the video you made. So I mean, that can be useful, but yeah, I don't find comments they're an irritant. I mean, I really should just suspend it, but there's some, the small value is worth retaining, but it's a small value. And but anyway, so the bottom line is, this is a video site, and I think that should be the people making videos should have more control over the conversation, and the people on camera, with their face, having to articulate an argument, not just read a script, having to make a video. I think they deserve a status that's higher than these other fuckers, or just fucking around in Photoshop, and throwing one-liners down in the comments. I mean, fuck that shit. I mean, it's not elevating anything. It's not making a contribution. There's no contribution in this. I mean, once the mud starts flying, then what the fuck? Everybody's just dirty in the end. It's the eye for an eye thing. Well, it doesn't go anywhere. You can't fight on their level. I mean, if everybody starts cheating, everybody starts using cheap rhetoric, well, what the fuck? It's you don't get anywhere. So, I mean, I wish there were more people like Fake Sagan on this issue. I wish there was more people that were just sick of this shit. Sick of the fucktards that are attempting to set the agenda. I mean, fuck that. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And, whatever. Boring video. See what happens? You end up with no style when you end up talking about style.